In this video, we will talk about function operations. What is operation? Operation means add, subtract, multiply, divide. So we will add, subtract, multiply, divide for different functions. So let's start with the different rules. I'm going to write down rules. Make sure that you copied them down before we go to the examples. So the first one, if I have two functions, one is f, another one is g, and they are adding together, and you have this x, how would you rewrite this? Function f, function g, both of them have this x input value, independent variable, independent value. So how would I rewrite this? Before you solve the problem, you have to rewrite it. So you're going to rewrite it f of x plus g of x. Like this x is multiplying with f and g both, and the positive sign has to stay between them. So it's going to turn to this. The same thing goes for subtraction. If I have something like this, then you have to just separate them, f of x minus g of x, and plug in the value and the functions here, g and f of x and g of x, and subtract them. The same goes for multiplication, f of g in x, then you're gonna go f of x times g of x. The same thing for division, f divided by g, and you have an x up here, so it's gonna go f of x over g of x. And make sure there is a restriction for the division one. G of x is not supposed to be equal 0, because if this is 0, then it's undefined. It makes the whole function undefined, so it's not okay. So these are the rules that we follow. Now I'm going to show you the examples for it. So we're going to do examples here. For example, I have f of x function, which is x cubed, and I have g of x function, which is x squared plus 6. The question is asking add them or find f plus gx, which means I'm adding them. So first I will rewrite it like according to my rule. It's going to be f of x plus g of x. Then all you have to do is plug in. What is f of x? X cubed. This plus sign stays. What is g of x? It's x squared plus x. So this is what my answer is. If the question is asking find f plus g negative 2, then I changed it right there. You can also rewrite this, and it's going to give me f of negative 2 plus g of negative 2. So when I plug in negative 2 in the f function, which was x cubed, it's going to give me negative 2 cubed plus, for g negative 2, x squared negative 2 squared plus 6. When I do this, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, it's negative 8. 2 times 2 is 4, and negative times negative is positive, so plus 4 plus 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 subtract 8 is going to give me 2. 8, 9, 10, yes. So that's how I got 2. Now, if the question, you can also, this was just the equal functions they gave me. If they give you tables, then how would you solve that problem? For example, I have the same problem. I have f plus g, and they want me to find that negative 2. So I'm going to rewrite this. Rewriting is important, so please make sure that you write it before you solve. In the tables they are giving me, for example, this is f of x function. And for the f of x function, I have negative 2, 8, and I have negative 1, and I have 0 and 0. I think 0 and 0 for f of x, yes. Because f of x is x cubed. So if I plug in negative 2, it's going to give me negative 8 for the x cube. I'm just going to write here so I won't forget. Negative 1 is going to negative 1, 0, 0. Okay, so this is f of x function. And now I have another one, which is g of x. For the g of x, when I plug in negative 2, I am getting 10 For -1, I'm getting 7. For 0, I'm getting 6. So you can use these tables to answer the questions. This is some other type of questions that you guys will see on the assignments or quizzes. So what is f of -2? -2 is right there. -8 is f. Plus, what is g? -2, it's 10, and it's going to give me the same answer. Either way, it's okay. It's the same thing. Now, if I have, these are all the addition examples, both of them. If I have the subtraction, for example, I have f of x equal x4 minus 1. G of x, I got 6x cubed minus 1. Now the question is asking find f minus g of x. So I have to rewrite it. Remember that f of x minus g of x. Now plug in f of x, which is x4 minus 1. Now for the minus, did you guys pay attention? For the positive, I wasn't that concerned that I have to put the parentheses or anything around this g of x function. I didn't do it because it doesn't change anything. But minus is really important, that you put the sign and you make a parentheses. Then I have 6x cubed minus 6. I already distributed that. So this is what I got. Now I'm going to remove the parentheses. Minus 1 minus 6x cubed plus 6. This is going to give me x4 minus 6x cubed plus 5. So this is what I got the answer. Sometimes according in the multiple choice questions, they don't even want you to give them the answer. They just want you what you're gonna do. So you can stop right there by plugging in and you can just find the answers. It depends on the questions. You will see the multiple choice, sorry. Okay, so these are all these questions. Now, if I have graphs instead of functions, so, and we're going to do the same thing for multiplication and the division ones. We can change them around, like rewrite them, and then we'll get the answer. Let's do the multiplication one. Let me find multiplication question really quick. Okay. For example, I have f of x function, which is 5 over x plus 2. And I have a g of x function, which is x plus, let's make it 3. Or x minus 3. So I got that. Now the question is asking find the multiplication one, like f g of x. So I'm going to rewrite this first. It's f of x times g of x. So plug in f of x, which is 5x plus 2, times g of x, which is x minus 3. We can make this fraction, and you know in multiplication the fraction means multiply straight across. So I'm going to multiply straight across. 5 times x is 5x. Minus 5 times 3 is 15. Down there, x plus 2. So this is how I got this answer. I mean, that's the multiplication. You can leave it alone here. Now, if the question, the same question, and they said to find the domain of this function, like find the domain of this function, the one we got. The domain, you know that the top portion doesn't change anything. If you plug in anything here for the x, it's not going to change anything, but we always make the denominator equal 0, and it's going to give me -2. Once I get -2, you make a sign chart. Pick any number here and plug it in the original, plug in this function. Pick something here and plug it in, and also pick -2, see if it would work. But if I plug in -2, it's going to give me a 0, which is not okay for the domain. So this one is not going to work. But pick something here, and that will be your for example, let's pick here -2. So let's pick f -3, and I'm going to pick 0 here. When I pick -3, I have -3, 15, -15 is -30, -3 and -1. So yes, I am getting some y value, so this is work. If I plug in 0 here, I know I got 15 over 2, which means it works. I am getting some y value. It doesn't, like, I'm not getting undefined or anything else, so I'm good. So it means negative infinity to negative 2, negative 2 and negative infinity not included, negative 2 to positive infinity not included. Not included means the negative 2 and infinity doesn't work. Like negative infinity is not a real value anyway. So that's a domain if the question was asking a domain. Now the same goes for division. If you are dividing these equations or these functions, for example, I have f of x equal 9x minus 1 and I have g of x which is 4x plus 1. So the question is asking find f of x over g of x. Let me change that. F of g on x means I'm looking for 2. So they are asking to find that. So what I'm doing, I'm going to rewrite this f of 2 over g of 2 and plug in. Plug in 2 for f. 9 times 2 is 18. 18 subtract 1 is 17. G2 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. So 17 over 9 is my answer. So this is how the division is going to go. It's not that hard at all. Now, if you have graphs, then how would you find the subtraction addition there? So it's easy way. It's kind of, for example, this is one graph. Then I have another one right there. Okay, for example, this is my f of x function and this is my g of x function. So these are my function f of x and g of x. Now for the f of x, for example, I'm going straight right there. I have 1, 2. So I'm getting 1 right there. I'm just making it up. And this is 2, and 2 is going to go here as a negative 2, negative 1. Okay. In this graph, I'm going in this direction. And okay, this is supposed to go through 0, 0, okay? But you can tell. Now I have 1, 2, and I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So for the 2, I'm going all the way here. So it's 4, like this. And for this one, for the 1, I'm getting 2 something, like I'm just estimating. So this is what I got, g f of x and g. The question is asking find g minus f of x. So it's telling me the subtract f from g. So I'm going to rewrite this first, gx minus f of x, right? I rewrote it. Now, what are you going to do? They give you multiple choice answers up here in different graphs, and they tell you what is the graph equal for g subtract f of x. What is the graph for that? So you have to figure it out, the graph for this. What do you do? These two graph there, it's given. So you pick any number here, any x values. So I'm going to pick the first one. I'm going to pick this 0, 0 right here. So if I pick 0, for example, g minus f 0. So I plugged in 0 here. So g0 is 0. f0 is 0. So we got 0. So one order pair that we have is 0, 0. So I'm going to box that. Let's go for the next one. Pick any other order pair. That's why I was exactly going through these so I can pick the order pair. So I'm going to pick 1 for f of x. Right? So f of x1, let's try that. G minus f1. So I got g1 minus f1. So what is g1? This is 1 and g1 is 2 minus, what is f of 1? 1 is negative 1. So it's going to give me 3. 3 is a y value when x is 1. So I got 1, another order pair. Then let's see the third order pair. We just need 2 or 3, 4 points. So I'm again picking, let's pick 2. Okay, so g, and it's your choice what order, what x value you pick. I'm just picking 0, 1, 2. So I got g minus f in 2. So I got G2 minus F2. So what is G2? This is G, that's 2 is 4, minus what is F2? F2 is negative 2. So this is going to give me 6. My order pair is 2 and 6 here. So what you're going to do, since I don't have the graphs here, but in the multiple choice question, you are going to see graphs, and then you pick the graph. So, but I'm going to draw my graph, like roughly. I have 0, 0 point right there. I have 1 and 3. This is 1, 1, 2, 3 right there. And I have 2 and 6. That's 2 and 6, 3, 4, 5 and 6. It's going to go all the way up here. So my graph should look like this. You see that? Positive slope, and it's very close to y-axis. So that's how you're going to pick the graph. If you guys have any questions, please comment below. That's the review for function operations. I will try my best to answer the question. Please subscribe, share, and like. Thank you.